Hi everyone, this is RST instructor Chris Tyler, and we are back again with this week's tour analysis, yet again on Jason Day. Jason Day just wins the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs at the Barclays this past weekend with a blazing final round of 62. So congratulations to Jason Day. And if you've found yourself struggling with getting a lot of good extension through the hitting area, or trying to figure out a solution on how to do so, or maybe even battled with that little bit of a chicken wing problem, then you want to pay close attention to today's review because I'm going to show you guys a great way to start building some tour-like extension just like Jason Day. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, everyone, if you're joining us on our YouTube channel, and before I get started with this analysis and showing you guys how to get more extension in your own golf swing, I want to let you know I'm going to go ahead and include a preview of a premium video at the end of this called 5 Minutes to a Perfect Release. I'm sure I sound like a broken record talking about this video, but there's a big step in that video right at the 6-minute mark that I'm going to talk about that's going to help you get a lot of tour-like extension in your own golf swing. If you want to see this video in its entirety, then go ahead and click the link in the description below. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post those up. Also, remember to hit that like button if you like this video, and make sure you hit the subscribe button as well so you can see lots of these great videos when we start to publish them out week in and week out. I hope you guys have a great day, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, everyone, so we are going to be focusing in on getting you some extension in your own golf swing, much like Jason Day. I know we've done a lot of analysis on him as of late, and this is one of those areas that a lot of golfers struggle with at home, is how do I get extension and how do I overcome a lot of that chicken wing kind of appearance through the hitting area. So the first thing I want you to understand is what is causing a lot of that to happen. What's causing your hands to work left rather quickly and not get that extension, and what's causing my chicken wing? Well, think of it this way. If you were to take your right shoulder and you were to push it across your center, so if you were to take this right shoulder and just go ahead and push across your center to where your right shoulder would end up pretty much where the logo of Jason's shirt is right now, that would, number one, that would rotate your shoulders open and it would turn your shoulders very level to the ground. Okay, so that would be one of the common mistakes or one of the common things that you would see in your own swing if you have a lot of right shoulder push, is that if you were looking at your golf swing from a down the line perspective, I know we have a face on here today, but if you looked at it from a down the line perspective, you would see that your hands work left and around your body very, very quickly. So you wouldn't see your club extending out in front of you for a very long time. You would see that your hands work left, and that could also attribute to the chicken wing part of the golf swing as well. Now, that's the main culprit that we see for the path starting to change, is a lot of big right shoulder push, lots of right arm push. Now, what causes the big chicken wing? Well, that is going to be you pushing your right arm across your center more than anything else. And what I mean there is if you were to actually deadlock your chest, hold it very still, and you can hold a golf club, and you were just to push your right arm across your center being your spine here, or your sternum, whatever you want to use as a center point, and you just kept pushing this all the way across you, and kept pushing, your left arm is eventually going to break. Okay, so that's what is going to give you the appearance through the hitting area. So what do we want to do to correct that? Well, the biggest thing that I want you to understand is that we got to eliminate the right side from doing any sort of excessive pushing through the hitting area. And you're going to hear me talk about a video in particular quite a bit. Chuck and myself, we talk a lot about 5 minutes to a perfect release. And in step 4 in that video, when I'm going to get to that here in a minute, step 4 talks to you about how to reach underneath and grab the golf club properly. So let's go ahead and take a look here, and I'll get into that here in just a second. All right, so we're going to mark Jason's axis tilt here at address. We're going to mark his shoulder line. Okay, so you can see he's got good tilt here just inside the lead knee. And then down here in the hitting area, you're going to see an increase in axis tilt. Okay, so here we are at impact. There's the increase in tilt, and then there's the increase in the shoulder line as a result. Now, this is where the extension starts to come in. If you are trained to allow the right hand, which Jason's right hand is very relaxed at this point, if you're trained to keep your right hand very relaxed and you feel like your wrists and your forearms are rotating over the top of each other, then in turn, what that's going to do is it's going to allow your hands and arms to act independently from the body, and it's going to allow you to start to get extension. Okay, so one area that I want you to focus on is actually the head position, and I want you to focus on the shoulders. So we're going to mark the head here, and then we're going to mark the shoulders again. So head position, because he is increasing tilt here down in the hitting area, you're going to see his head move away from the original starting point, and now you see the tilt to his shoulders starting to increase. Now here's where post-impact, you're going to see the shoulder plane starting to steepen here quite a bit. So the left shoulder is moving up, the right shoulder is moving down and underneath, and now we have a ton of extension. Hands are about chest height, and this is the big area where a lot of golfers kind of misunderstand what's going on, is how do I steepen my shoulder plane? Well, step 4 right at about the 6-minute mark, and 5 minutes to a perfect release is going to train you on how to do that. It's going to train you how to get into this kind of this weird side bend position. Now, don't worry about the side bend position when you start to rehearse it. It might be a little uncomfortable at first, but you come out of this position so quickly in the golf swing that you would really never even feel it. So a game plan for you to start to get good extension is, number one, pay close attention to your head position. Don't allow your head to move this direction too early, because that could be caused from your right shoulder kind of moving across your center, kind of picking your head up a little bit too soon, and make it very difficult for you to keep your arms extending down the target line. But I also want you to pay attention to your shoulder line. And I think a good way to start to encompass this, aside from not allowing the right hand to push through the hitting area, is maybe start working from a 9-3 section. Maybe focus on working from hip high to hip high with just a little bit of weight shift and feeling like you're keeping your head very quiet and letting your wrists and your forearms stay relaxed and release and extend through the hitting area. One drill I've done in the past with some students is I put an alignment stick out here in front of them on the ground. I stick it in the ground so it's straight up about 4 to 6 feet in front of them, between where the golf ball is down here and where the target is. And I say, okay, so just from some shorter golf swings here, I want you to keep your head very quiet. I want you to shift your weight over to your lead side, and I want you to feel like your wrists are rotating over the top of each other, where your club can extend out and touch this alignment stick in front of you. And we do several reps of that, and then we slowly start to ramp their speed up, and in turn, now we're getting their shoulder plane to naturally steepen, and we're starting to get a lot more extension without having the right side of the body over-dominate the move through the hitting area. All right, guys, so if you've been struggling with extension, then check out 5 minutes to a perfect release right at the 6-minute mark. Okay, there's step number 4 in that video is going to teach you how to stay back and keep your right hand reach underneath to get the club. You'll start to feel what it's like to have the shoulder plane steepen. If you've been struggling with a lot of that right hand push through the hitting area, then go right back to step number 3. That'll help you with that as well. And then also the right hand release video, okay, the right hand coming off the club. These videos are going to be over here to the right hand side of the video player, the recommended videos tab, so go ahead and click that, and you'll be well on your way to getting a lot of extension just like Jason Day.
In the lose the right hand drill, I started talking about how you get a speedy release of the golf club without you having to put any effort into it whatsoever. For a lot of golfers, releasing the club is a foreign concept. They've never actually released the club. They use their body, and then the problem with that is if your body keeps turning through impact, the club head and your body have to move at a more relative constant speed together versus letting my body stop, and the club can move very fast and my body doesn't have to do anything. In fact, the club can actually release faster as my body slows down and I transmit energy up the chain into the club. So learning how to release the club and let that right hand come off is really important, but obviously we don't play golf left-handed, although I have a lot of students who ask me if they can after they work through these drills that you're about to learn now. What I'm going to do is work through the sequence of how to learn to release the club very, very slowly until you start building the proper movements in there. So here's what I do with all my students. The first thing when they're learning how to release this left hand is we take the right hand completely out of the equation. If you're someone who pushes really hard from the right side or flips that right hand, this is critical. You do not skip this step. You want to start learning how to release the club properly to get into a proper impact position. So at first,